What is up, 12 Nation? I am Saahil Kapoor, the host of The Hawk Alert. Today, we are going to be previewing the Detroit Lions versus the Seattle Seahawks. The Detroit Lions are 2-12-1. The Seattle Seahawks are 5-10. Both are, yep, not very good records, but it's going to be a fun game. Cue that intro. Okay, like I said, the Detroit Lions are 2-12-1, and the Seattle Seahawks are 5-10. The Seattle Seahawks are coming off a tough victory against the Chicago Bears. It went to a 2-point conversion. Chicago converted. Russ couldn't do anything with a minute left. But we're going to be hoping for something new. Let's talk about the Detroit team. So they're 2-12-1, but the thing is, their record does not show the team that they are. They've beat the Minnesota Vikings and the Arizona Cardinals. Those two teams are teams that have beat Seattle previously this season. So they've already beat teams that Seattle has lost to, which says something. The Lions have a great team and a great coach, in my opinion. I think they're lacking wide receivers, but they are a team. They're tough, and they're ready to go to battle every Sunday. And they're a very tough team. Like I said, Dan Campbell is a great players coach. He's made his team into a tough team, and he's made his team into a team where they don't stop working. They persevere till the end. Obviously, sometimes they have these issues at the end of games, like we've said before, but that does not mean that this team does not have a good chance of beating the Seattle Seahawks, because in my opinion, I think it's anyone's game on Sunday. Even though it's in Seattle, Detroit's going to be on the road. I think it can be anyone's game. The Lions are going to have Jared Goff back. Last week, they almost beat the Falcons. It went down to the Lions were on the 15-yard line, and what happened was Tim Boyle threw an interception. Jared Goff in those situations is very clutch. He's a very good performer at the end of games. I believe the Detroit Lions would have won that game last week if he was playing. Let's move to this Detroit team. What are they running? So they run a 5-2 split safety scheme. What that is, they have 5 pass rushers, 2 linebackers, and then they split the safety. So they have a free and a strong, and they have their cornerbacks, right? So this is really close to what Chicago runs. And I believe if the Seahawks can properly find out the correct scheme to defeat this could be a good game. Obviously, Seattle just played this, so they're fresh off the 5-2 split safety scheme. They know how it works. They know where they went wrong. So let's hope that Seattle goes into Sunday prepping for this game, prepping against the 5-2 split safety scheme. My opinion is I believe Seattle should be running the ball the whole game. Rashad Penny has had 2 amazing games this season. He's had 2 games where he's rushed for 130 plus yards, and he hasn't even gone 20 plus attempts in those games. So Rashad Penny should be seeing the ball at least 25 times if you want to win this game, in my opinion. The Lions don't have a great front 5, right? Their best player on that line is Jalen Reeves-Maybin. Maybin is a good tackler. I'd say he's a good blitzer, but one dude cannot stop a run game, especially with a hot Rashad Penny running at them. One thing I noticed about the Lions is in the last video, I talked a lot about traits and how the Seattle Seahawks are lacking traits. The Lions have a lot of traits in one area. They persevere, and it's hard to match their energy. Those are the 2 big things that I've noticed all season from the Detroit Lions. They don't stop working, and they're energetic on the field. And Seattle has had issues with being energetic and persevering, as we've seen this season, right? So it's going to be fun to see because you got two different types of teams. You got a team running a 5-2 split safety scheme, and you got a team that runs a 4-3. It's going to be a different approach on both sides. Detroit likes to run the ball a lot. Seattle likes to pass a lot. And I don't think it's Seattle. I think it's Russell Wilson likes to pass a lot, right? Obviously, Pete Carroll likes to run a lot. I would be happy if Seattle could take the Pete Carroll approach, run on first, run on second, and pass on third. That is my dream for this game. If they can do that, I believe Seattle will move to 6-10. It will be a W in the column this Sunday. Let's talk about really my predictions for this game. Like I said, I want Seattle to play a certain way, but I really also want Seattle to play a certain way on defense. I think you can stick with this 4-3. The last 3 games, I'd say this defense has performed really well against the run. David Montgomery was held to 41 yards on 20 attempts, which is ridiculous. That's great run defense. Against the Rams, they did a great job. Obviously, Sony Michel exploded for about 2 runs. But, that stuff happens, especially with a good left tackle and Andrew Whitworth. Stuff like that will happen. I think my prediction for this game is the Seahawks are going to take this one 27-14. And the reason is because Seattle knows how the 5-2 split safety scheme runs, right? They just played it. They know where they went wrong. Now they're going to go into this game, and now they're going to counter, and they're going to fix their mistakes. I think all week in practice, they've been working on their mistakes. Obviously, we haven't been able to see, but I think they're going to be working on the places where they fell short, where they made mistakes, and I think they're going to work on that, and I think that they're going to pull away with this win. Like I've said, the Lions are 2-12-1. It's the second worst record in the NFL. They're not a great team. I mean, the roster, it's okay, but in my opinion, the way that the Lions, the only chance they have is if they come out with more energy than the Seahawks, and that is very possible. As we saw against Arizona, they scored in the opening drive, became 7-0, soon 17-0 at half, and then when you're down 3 possessions, it's hard to come back. Like we saw Arizona. Arizona could be a fraud team, but the Lions, they do have a hard energy to match. And after their win against Minnesota, this team has definitely become better, in my opinion. So it's going to be hard to match this team's energy, but I think Seattle can win this game. Let's talk about the Vegas odds. So Seahawks are favored to win this game, obviously, because they're 5-10. They have Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. Offense is healthy, except for running back. They're obviously going to be favored to win this game. DeAndre Swift is questionable, so it's going to be tough for Detroit to really establish a great run. Obviously, against Arizona, Craig Rogers did a great job of establishing a great running game. I mean, he ran for about 12 attempts, 55 yards, which is obviously really impressive. But if they have DeAndre Swift, they have a healthy Jamal Williams, and a healthy Jamal Williams is obviously a scary running back. Their O-line is still hurt. But yeah, I really think Seattle is going to win this game. Like Vegas says, they're minus 300 favorites, that's a pretty big number. Minus 300 means that Vegas really thinks that Seattle is going to win this game. Now, the interesting thing that Vegas said was before the Bears game, the Seahawks opened as 9-point favorites. That's a big number, right? I mean, that's a 2-possession point favorite number. And after the Bears lost, that dropped to 6.5. Right there, you can see what's going on. Vegas is not as confident in the Seahawks, and Vegas does play a big factor in sports. I don't know if I'm not going to go deep into Vegas playing a big factor. You can watch many videos, but point favorites do play a big factor. So that's all I'm going to say. They opened up as 9, dropped to 6.5. Something's going on, obviously. But let's move away from that Detroit Lions versus Seattle Seahawks and talk about some fantasy sleepers that I've had in my mind for you guys to start on Sunday. I think Rashad Penny is going to explode against this weak Lions line. I think Waldron thinks that this pass game is struggling, and I think he's going to give the ball to Penny a lot, as Penny has proved himself these last 4 weeks. I'd say pick up Rashad Bateman. The Baltimore Ravens are playing a good Los Angeles Rams defense, and Hollywood Brown will be clamped up all game. Jalen Ramsey is the best corner in the game. There's no explanation for that. Lamar will look for Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman a lot. And you got to trust me on this because Rashad Bateman, he's a good rookie. There's a reason why he was taken in the first round. Rashad Bateman is going to have a good game this Sunday. KJ Osborne is my third option. He's rostered in less than 30% of ESPN leagues. So if he's available in your league, definitely pick him up. He's been a great option the last 3 weeks. He's gotten 17, I think he's gone double-digit points 3 times in the last 4 weeks, and that is very impressive, especially for a wide receiver 3. If Thielen doesn't play, he's going to explode again. Kirk Cousins will look his way a lot. Trust me on that. My fourth one is a tight end. If Waller doesn't play, obviously start Foster Moreau. Derek Carr loves his tight ends. We've seen this for the last about 2.5 years. His chemistry with Moreau seems to get better every week. Since Derek Carr looks towards his tight ends so much, his chemistry develops with his tight ends. At first, him and Darren Waller didn't have the strongest chemistry as a quarterback and tight end, and now some could say they have the strongest. Obviously, it's Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Garoppolo, Kittle, but some could say Carr and Darren Waller's chemistry is the strongest quarterback tight end chemistry in the whole league. I think with Waller out, Carr's chemistry with Moreau has been getting stronger, and I believe Moreau will have a great game this Sunday. Now, I'm just going to wrap it up. You can find this show. We're going to be on the Hawk Alert. Make sure to subscribe. We're going to be posting every week. Obviously, the Seahawks season was a fail. It was a tough season. All offseason, we're going to be having mock drafts. We're going to be having, everything. Anything you can imagine. We're going to be talking about future 2022 Seattle rosters, free agents, mock drafts, everything. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that action. Make sure to follow our Instagram and Twitter. I post a lot of takes on my Twitter and a lot of graphics, a lot of my opinions, some fantasy sleepers, some fantasy busts, stuff like that. And I also post my most recent video on my Twitter. So make sure to follow my Twitter. It's the Hawk Alert. It's going to be in the description. So make sure to follow that for sure. You can shoot me a DM on Twitter or Instagram if you have a question about the Seahawks or have a question about football or even have a fantasy football question. I'm free to answer that. So make sure to shoot me a DM on Twitter or Instagram. That's going to be it for today. If you like the video, drop a like. I'll see you on Monday to recap this Lions game. Go Seahawks.